CRISPR, the genetic engineering tool capable of cutting out specific parts of DNA, was founded by Yoshizumi Ishino in 1986 as a fairly insignificant discovery. But later, in 2011, it was found to be able to cut off certain parts of DNA out of the sequence, like such, allowing for fixing of genes. The discovery of CRISPR served as a catalyst to seemingly unlimited possibilities into the genetic world, including cures and treatments to genetic diseases like sickle cell. Yet this also opened the possibility of superhumans, but the ethical side of bioengineering became complicated. Hi, I'm Brody Selesnik, and the way of thinking of the groups trying to advance the world of genetics is flawed, and I'm here to fix it. First, are superhumans truly possible, and how close are we to them? Well, we can already splice, which is cutting out and modifying such pieces of DNA. We can reorganize DNA, which is just pretty much the same thing. Reorganize, it's self-explanatory. We have genetic markers to help with gene therapy. With all this technology and technique, it is entirely possible to make superhumans. Many of these techniques and technologies will be widely used to achieve superhumans. Unfortunately, not all people want this technology to go any further and believe that it is too risky. Worried about variation, Nazis fade out warfare and parental customization. Step 1. Nazis. Why would I, of all people, let Nazis in the lab? The Nazis' way of thinking was flawed. After all, I can do it better. In Mohammed el-Mabrik and Zahra Muhammad's paper, Genetic Engineering, Unwanted Consequences, they bring up the Nazi argument and eugenics to compare Nazis' way of thinking to genetic engineering. The argument goes as follows. Eugenics is the advocacy of selective human breeding to strengthen desirable traits by encouraging selective mating, thereby producing a superior human race. This is not a new concept. Adolf Hitler adopted these same eugenic ideas and established a program of euthanasia for adults and children. It is true that in the wrong hands, bioengineering can be evil. But ever since World War II, governments across the world have banded together to prevent something like this from ever happening. We can put laws in place like background checks, and maybe researchers could post updates to the public. Also, in my lab, the goal will not be make a superior human. It will be create a catalyst for human evolution. The authors also mentioned a militant use of bioengineering, basically saying that countries like Russia and the USA could create perfect soldiers from birth with the sole reason of fighting and dying on the battlefield, completely stripping them of all rights and anything. It's obvious to see why people didn't like this. It'll make war a lot more common because of soldiers being extremely expendable. It's easy to fix this. Countries agree on banning stuff all the time. Banning the use of this tech for militant use could solve all of this. This should quench the unease among countries and the people that are worried about the possibilities of armies and slaves destroying each other. Easy. Another two arguments. Parents and fade out. The parental issue is very common, and the fade out is a concern brought up by LinkedIn Winder in Are Humans Obsolete? Which are basically letting parents customize their children will create a very competitive environment, which is unethical and unhealthy. If people start becoming superhumans, will that make the original humans fade out over time? If more powerful and superior humans fade in through the originals over time, that'll be good. A healthy human evolution. That's the preferred outcome. It'll certainly satisfy all the Darwinists out there. Second of all, there should be a law against unfair parental modification. If it's to prevent hereditary and genetic disease, then it's alright, but straight up customization should be completely outlawed. If it doesn't pass, I predict it will become a highly political and important issue like abortion. Either way, it won't be my issue anymore. In conclusion, the way we march to the superhuman is to dodge all ethical concerns with laws and goals and use all the technology we have available now.